So we're on Franklin Road in Tuskegee, which is it's now Franklin, Alabama now. But when I grew up, it was in Tuskegee, outside of the city limits. But it was in Tuskegee on Franklin Road, and this is where I grew up here. There's no home here now, but this is where I grew up, and I so fond of neighbors that have moved away or died that still I see, like Mr. Edward Howard. Mr. Howard, who gave me odds and end jobs of cutting his grass and helping him gather firewood and those kinds of things, because he was a farmer. Did farming part-time, and he worked at the Veterans Hospital. And so, but this is the neighborhood where I grew up, and Walker Store is right down the street, where I've had to walk to the grocery store several times, because you walk to the store and get something, and then you forget something, and Mama will make you go back again. So I've walked this street on many a days when I was growing up. My mother and I and brothers, we lived here at some point in time after we moved off of Franklin Road. So like I said, we've had a couple of locations, but we've always been in Tuskegee. Franklin Road, and this home is the only home we've ever lived in Tuskegee until I decided to move out and get my own home. Oh wow, let me start back. I started school at Head Start at Tuskegee Institute. I started Head Start at Tuskegee Institute, and then on to Tuskegee Public School, then to Tuskegee Institute High School. High school student, four years. This is now Tuskegee Institute Middle School, but when I was attending school from 1982 to 1986, this was Tuskegee Institute High School. Graduated Tuskegee Institute High School, and then went on and attended Auburn University for about 3 years, and then I kind of ventured off into the car business while in college. And after kind of took some time away from college, and later went back and attended Faulkner University and received my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with a minor in Business Management. Graduated Magna Cum Laude. I served United States Army Reserve for 8 years. I like new construction and architectural design type work, so that's what I do for the federal government and other type stuff. It's actual buildings and demolition and site work, that kind of thing for the federal government. So I've operated multiple auto dealerships simultaneously with a combined staff of probably about 50, 60 people between the 3 locations. When a dealership represents integrity, represents honesty, and represent good automobiles and good customer service, they give this quality dealer award to a select number of dealers throughout the U.S. And we've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to have met the expectations of auto service company to have won several of these awards throughout our 30-year history. I think about 28 years old when I first got elected in 1996 to serve a 4-year term on the city council. As city council, we paved numerous of streets throughout the city. 20 years ago, we tore down many dilapidated properties 20 years ago. At the time, we upgraded a lot of city equipment. We purchased fire trucks 20 years ago. We stabilized the city's finances. Was a large accomplishment. When we came in, the city had a large deficit spending, and when we left the city had at least $500,000 in a rainy day fund at the Alabama Exchange Bank. So And we just provided good service to the citizens 20 years ago. Just provided good garbage service pickup, the trash that was being picked up, the grass was being cut. Served on the city council for 4 years. Then I was appointed by Mayor Dunn in 2002 to serve on the planning commission for the city of Tuskegee. So eventually I've served 14 years because I was appointed by several other mayors and in that position. So I've served from 2002 to 2016 as chairman of the city's planning commission. I joined Mount Olive about 24 years ago. This church has been the foundation of my spiritual growth in the Lord. My wife and I, we started looking for a new church home about 24 years ago, and we visited Mount Olive, and we just fell in love with the pastor, which is Dr. John H. Curry Jr. We just like the atmosphere at Mount Olive, the people, the pastor, and the worship style. So we've just enjoyed the family worship here at Mount Olive. Well, I want to be the mayor of Tuskegee because I'm just concerned that we don't have the quality of life that I think the citizens of Tuskegee deserve. We don't have the quality of life that we have once enjoyed in our city. And I'm not saying that Tuskegee should become a large city. I don't think that most citizens that live here want a large city. But I do think that the citizens here want, and I think they deserve to have a city where it's safe, a city where we have good roads, a city where we have safe sidewalks to walk on, a city where the grass is cut and manicured along the city's right-of-ways and within the neighborhoods, where there's drainage issues that are fixed, that when it rains, we don't flood our cars or certain streets we can't go on if it rains. I think the citizens are entitled to have good police protection, good fire protection. And I think we deserve to have urgent care. I personally don't think that Tuskegee is large enough to support a hospital, but I certainly think that we're large enough and that our citizens their lives are important enough for us to have an urgent care facility that if someone has a heart attack or a stroke or someone gets shot or stabbed, that they can be stabilized in Tuskegee and then transported to another hospital facility in any direction that you want to go. There's a hospital, north, south, east, or west, there's a hospital. So I just think I'm running because I'm just concerned about the quality of life in our city. I'm not concerned about a name for myself, and I'm not doing it for the money. When I was in office 20 years ago, I donated my salary back to the city to buy equipment that was needed, donated it to scholarships for students to attend that graduated Booker T. Washington High School. So I don't know what the mayor's salary is, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I'm concerned about our community. I have teachers that taught me in school that have told me that they're afraid to sit on their porch and enjoy retirement because of the gunshots that they hear throughout our community. I had a church member a few days ago tell me they hear so many gunshots in the Benson Avenue neighborhood where she lived, she's afraid to look out the window, not alone just sit on her porch. And those kinds of things just concern me so much. And I just know that if I'm elected, I can just make a difference with the quality of life that we have in Tuskegee.